is Cam Canarella? What's his timetable right now? How's he doing?
He's progressing well, and he's be hitting towards the end of the fall, and then throwing right after that. And right now, it's projected to be full go for the preseason in January, and then it won't take him long to get ready for the season. But he's, as of right now, we're expecting he'll be out there running around center field making circus catches game one.
Anybody else limited injury-wise, or is that pretty much it?
Andrew Trufo's still making his way back, but he's out there playing in the most highest capacity. He's still not full go from a medical standpoint, so he is limited, but he is limited enough to still play in scrimmages. So he's getting his ABs. He doesn't have full range back defensively. He's not cleared to full sprint yet, but he's moving around good, and really excited that he. I know you're going to talk to him here in a minute, but that he decided to give it another year and use that final year of eligibility. So his leadership, among other things, but just having that veteran presence, and excited about him and just kind of the leadership role that he's taken on.
Talk about leadership. Obviously, like Blake Wright was a very big leader. You lost Jimmy Obertop. Like, who are some of the guys that you look at that have kind of emerged in the offseason?
They are emerging. Like that's all part of it. So we've just started our official 20-hour segment last Friday. So we're a lot more time together now over the next 5-6 weeks. So I'm really looking forward to kind of see who presents those alpha leadership type qualities that speak up, that that take charge, that find the opportunities to give a kick in the butt and the armor on the shoulder when needed, just whatever it takes. And we've had great leaders in the past, and those things evolve over time as we continue to build the whole team concept. But might be a little bit early for that right now, but there's some early candidates, Andrew Trufo being one of them, and among a lot of other guys. Jacob Jarrell was a captain last year too. So you got. There's no shortage of it. It's just kind of seeing how it takes shape.
I know for Cam, he was limited base running wise. Has he started doing that after post surgery yet, or is he still progressing?
He's running. He's just running in the outfield. He's not doing team training yet, but he is running. He is moving around. He's just hasn't done base running with us yet.
Since the last time we saw you, what's life look like for a head baseball coach? What have you been up to, and just some of the things that you look to do and take advantage of during this time away and during the summer?
Yeah, so summer's just filled with recruiting, and recruiting is now turned a whole nother side of recruiting. So you're always recruiting future players, but you're also recruiting donors for whatever used to be just whatever projects you have going on, and now that's obviously shifted in the NIL world. So a lot of that dominates the time and the energy, but it's all good because it helps our players. But the fall is, we try to put the target less on evaluation in the fall. We're not determining roles in the fall. Instead, it's more about development. And we tell our guys that, like, we're not deciding the starting lineup in October and November. This is more for you guys to push your limits and test your boundaries and make it about growth, and try to set PRs in the fall with the things you can do on the field, and not worry about the results as much. So that's what I've been up to.
What are some of those things you're targeting right now in terms of development, growth, the facility, whatever it is? When you say talking to donors and NIL and that sort of stuff.
So we're always, if depending on what day it is and what we hear about the rules changing and legislation updating. So it's either we're looking to help raise money to support our program in whatever capacity. So if it's an NIL standpoint, to where just a lot of times just continuing to educate and raise that awareness for baseball. It's it's not pay for play, it's pay our bills. I've kind of said that a lot, but it's what it is, because playing college baseball forever and ever is synonymous with student loan debt. So NIL is not necessarily pay for play. It's how can we use NIL money to help our players subsidize their costs, or subsidize their scholarship if they're on it. But the guys that are on it are on a small percentage. So use NIL to help pay their tuition bill, pay their housing, pay for their food. So that's been great. And if with the new House versus the NCAA case, if scholarships go up, then we'll need help paying for scholarships. So that it'll be more of a the conversations will be about helping cover those scholarships, because that's an additional cost now. And then we're always keeping up with the arms race. We consider ourselves one of the top programs in the country, and so we can't stay static. We've got to continually find ways to upgrade. And it could be big, huge capital projects, or it could be small things. Like we just replaced the infield grass last week. We've got some projects of adding some seats and finding ways to create a little more of a even more as hostile as we got it the end of last year, which was great. We want to recreate that and looking for creative ways to to add some more seats down the left field line, and looking at some projects to where we can maybe add some more turf in foul territory, and so it's a lot of things that we've got on the docket, as well as some of the big vision stuff you guys have heard me say before, like turn the Cajun Cafe into a 12-month-a-year restaurant that serves the Clemson community. How cool would that be? I love Floor Field, how you have the like kind of that residential feel to it behind the outfield, and just imagine what this place could be as we continue to grow and build, and just think 5-10 years down the road what this could look like as we continue to build our program and keep taking steps forward and create more of a demand for an atmosphere here that has maybe that luxury suite residential component. And I'm telling the administration all the time, it's more fun to be outside the Braves game than inside the Braves game. Like, how about a fun zone out there connecting baseball, softball? So there's no shortage of ideas. So you asked a question that could literally take all the time we've got allotted for today, because we have so much of a real estate footprint here. Most baseball places I've been to, you don't have the footprint everywhere. It's just, if you're going to build, you got to go up. But we have an unbelievable footprint here, but we've got to earn it on the field. We've got to create that demand. We got to create the excitement. We got to create an atmosphere that people want to just get here and be here all the time and feel like they're coming to one big party.
I love the vision. One last one for me. I talked to Jesse and the Savannah Banana guys, and they said you had a big part in bringing it to the football field and bringing it here to Clemson. So where that connection, just your thoughts on the Savannah Bananas and the opportunity to bring them here to Clemson.
I love the Savannah Bananas. I love Jesse Cole. He's a creative genius. We've been playing banana ball since 2018. We're going to play banana ball today. It's part of a competition at the end. We do it all the time. It is so much fun, and how he's just, invigorated, the fan bases, especially their loyal fan base, but just the excitement that the games bring, and how he's turned it into this total entertainment thing. It's inspiring, and just to see, he and his wife were living in the stadium when they first took over the Savannah Bananas as a summer league team, and what it's turned into now. I mean, he's just the ultimate creative entrepreneur, marketing genius. His proprietary ticket sale system feel like you got to win the lottery to buy a ticket. I mean, how awesome is that? So he's created a unique brand, a one-of-one unicorn type brand. So awesome. They're coming to play here, and we've been big fans of his for a long time, and we've found a way to put some tweaks on it and put it into part of our scrimmages too.
Well, and it provides an opportunity there's so few opportunities for guys to keep playing baseball sometimes, and it's so competitive to have kind of this other outlet for some guys. There's so many really talented baseball players that are playing. It's not just the circus side of everything.
Oh yeah, there's draft picks, there's former pro players, no doubt. It's a combination of the full-on entertainment side of it, but also you get to see good baseball as well. So I think if you're a fan and looking for that value entertainment of your dollar, you know, as a consumer, it's a good spot to spend it.
When you look at sort of how last year ended, and you talk about the time you've had this summer to recruit and sort of put together a sales pitch, with where this team ended up last year and bringing back something Clemson baseball that fans haven't seen in over a decade, what are some of maybe the lessons you learned about where this program is headed and lessons you learned about just yourself as a coach?
Yeah, talk about lessons I've learned, and nobody wants to hear about that. I'll tell you what, though, the fans, the legacy of Team 127 was the way the community felt like they rallied the community, and we asked the community to get rowdy and make this place hostile, and the environment here exceeded all expectations. And it just goes to show you, I guess, the lesson learned is that you know, the community is not only behind Clemson athletics, as we all know, but really behind Clemson baseball, and was shared in the excitement with us, and we got to help create a memory for everybody. And there were so many good memories made, even though we fell short of our ultimate goal. It was still just an awesome atmosphere to see, and so to know that we've got a fan base in the community behind us that, you know, is ready and you know, ready to go to Omaha with us, and to be able to, you know, be in a position to where we can earn it on the field to host the postseason, and be lucky enough to host both rounds of the postseason, and then, you know, I would love to see, like, you know, 10,000 people out there dogpiling with us. How cool would that be? But that was the feeling. That was the feeling after the regional, and we had, you know, call an offensive timeout. Jaron Purifies up. He's just a small town boy born and raised in South Detroit, and Marianos is playing that song, and then the lights go out and everyone's got their cell phone lights on, and we literally stopped our offensive timeout. I don't even remember, we were going to bunt or something, and we just didn't even do the play because we were just watching the concert that just impromptu unfolded. I mean, it's just, those are the organic, authentic, amazing moments that you remember forever. And you know, that when you have a fan base behind you like that, that's what happens. So I think our team is just really energized to take that next step and keep making these memories together.
Have you gone through it all an appeals process in terms of the suspension, or is it still?
Yeah, we tried. It didn't go anywhere. Yeah, it was like taking a shot and getting blocked immediately. So I'll be take my medicine and sit out the first two. I'll have to watch it with Hennessy up in the booth or something. If they don't let me up there, I'll watch it from the hotel bar. Who knows?
Are there plans in place who will replace you while you won't be coaching those first two games?
Hennessy's going to be the head coach. Yeah, he's going to run the offense, and
I thought that's what BP was for today.
that's right.
We're all going to earn
It's a
our
tryout.
spot.
Yeah, we'll see who does the best, and yeah, it's a tryout. No, I mean, we've got Nick Schnabel and I have been together for 13 years now, and he's, you know, could have been a head coach a million times over. So he's turned down a lot of good jobs, and is one of the best assistant coaches in baseball. And it's not just me who thinks that. He was the National Assistant Coach of the Year in 2019. And then obviously Jimmy Bellinger is widely regarded one of the best pitching coaches in the country. And so we'll be in good hands, plus the rest of our staff. So I don't worry about that at all, and I also trust our players. You know, our job sometimes as coaches is to eliminate our job. We if we do what we need to do in training, then the games, that's where the players can, it'd be about them.
Just in terms of the transfers, Gaffney, Priest, Pano, like, kind of how they kind of enter the equation? What do you expect them to bring?
They're all awesome. We've got good problems. I think we said that early last fall too. We've got good problems to have, because depth, and figure out where the pieces go, and feel the same way this year. It's just the eyeball test of, you know, not playing anyone, and no one in the stands, and no stakes, and, you know, but everybody, you know, going into an environment relaxed because they know they're going to play, and they know it's not about evaluation, but about, you know, pushing limits and testing boundaries, so they're playing mentally free. And just this version of what we're seeing is very impressive. We have a no shortage of talent from the neck down, but that we all know that that's only part of it. And their abilities from the neck up are going to determine how long we get to play. When we earn our way into the postseason, the neck up is going to, a lot of times, be just as important as their ability neck down.
I guess Gaffney and Priest were both Big Ten players, and obviously you came from the Big Ten. Did you interact with them at all, like recruiting wise, out of high school, or were they guys that just popped up on the radar?
Did not know Luke Gaffney at all. Colin Priest was a little bit of a, I don't know if he was a late bloomer or just a really good bat that was available late. So I had heard about him out of high school, but I had not heard about Luke Gaffney. And Luke actually, I think he redshirted or played sparingly his first year at Purdue, and then really burst onto the scene last year. And then, Colin, everyone knew he was a power hitter and had potential, but he obviously performed very well at Michigan and freshman All-American and did very well.
Yes, look at Gaffney position wise. I think he plays first, but he also catches a little bit. Like, do you have an idea of where you want him?
He plays first, catches third, and outfield. So, yeah, he's already asked if he could have 4 gloves. So we might have to get him 4 gloves because he can play 4 different positions. But yeah, he's kind of a hitter first, and but is a good enough athlete where he's good at first, he's good at catching. You can put him at third if you need to. You can certainly stick him in left if you need to. But he's a guy that's proven it with the bat and had a good summer in the Cape, and certainly a guy we're looking at is going to make an immediate impact in the ACC.
Dominic Listy seems like a guy who just gets on base. Like, what would you call his kind of profile as a player?
I think that's his superpower, and that's one thing when we talked early in our conversations. We had an outfielder enter the portal, and then we called Dom, and it was like he stood out right away just because we talked about some of his strengths, and he didn't talk about hitting, and he talked about his focus of just making sure he can do whatever he can to reach first base, and just his laser focus on just being that on-base machine. And so far in just limited action of inter squads, you can see why. I mean, 2 strikes, he chokes up to the top of the grip, and just it's almost like, feels like this guy's mentally in a bare knuckle fight with the pitcher to get on first. And it's just an older kid who's hyper competitive and just wants to find a way to reach base. But kind of a throwback, old school approach. Not someone who's enamored with metrics and launch angle. He's just going to try to reach base any way he can, which is, got to have guys like that.
How do you see the evolution of the transfer portal changing for you guys, just as you have come into consecutive years of being the head coach, just how that dynamic changes, and then also the success and the atmosphere you guys created, just of the profile of Clemson baseball, more widespread?
Yeah, I mean, we're going to be in the mix with all the best transfer portal guys, just because I think college baseball has become older and it's in the post-COVID world, and the recruiting process has always been hard, but now it's especially going to get harder for high school kids now that rosters are being decreased. And I think coaches by default, the reliability of the stats at the high school level compared to the reliability of knowing the competition of a kid in the portal and knowing what conference he played in, what division it is, and so on and so on, and just having an older guy that's more proven. There's a lot of reasons to like the portal, but that being said, we still are going to be a program that builds our program with high school kids and develops high school kids. But for all the other reasons, though, the portal's very attractive for the right kids. We passed on a lot of kids in the portal that were very talented physically, but for whatever reason just wasn't the right fit for what we're trying to build here from a culture standpoint.
Hey, time for one more question.
You received a contract extension back in June or July, and there were rumors having your name around other team conversations about their openings. I guess, why was it important for you to stay at Clemson baseball? Stay at Clemson baseball.
I started here. I love it here. Everyone has a certain fondness and reverence for their alma mater. I certainly have mine for playing for Keith LeClaire at East Carolina, one of Coach Leggett's proteges, but I got to start here, you know, and the start here was to get paid in Gatorade bars and T-shirts, and to wake up every day excited about coming to Clemson, and fell in love with Clemson, and that never changed. That never wavered, and this was always a destination to aspire to come back to if the stars were to align and that it could happen the right way. You know, not with Coach Leggett being let go, right? That's not the way. But with him coming back and being like, there's nowhere else we want to be. Right? We love it here. Love that get to raise our family here. I'd still do this job for Gatorade bars and T-shirts. Just maybe don't tell that to the administration. No, but I would. I love it. I love it here, and I have the same reverence for Clemson as I do, the same feelings as the alma mater. It's just that because it's a start. It's a first. It's I trace everything back to, you know, had it not been for Clemson, I wouldn't have been able to start coaching. And so because of that, there's a high level of loyalty that no interest in going anywhere else, and never did.